Hello, Mr. Burgess' amazing class. Welcome to Crash Course, Ben Franklin.
Times here in America.
In the next 5 minutes, we are going to learn the amazing facts of the amazing, awesome Ben Franklin.
Mister, is there going to be a test on this?
Yes, it'll be on the May 10th exam. It will take place at schools, and it'll be the first state topics and football game topics, all the topics. It will get you to think about other things than celebrity marriages, car stickers, hat and boot kids, and mommy emails. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's start with sociology. Franklin was the founder of a number of institutions that are today present in the American way of life. For example, he founded the first lending library, that being the Philadelphia Library in 1731. He also founded the American Philosophical Society in 1743. Not to mention the first hospital, that being the Pennsylvania Hospital in 1751. And finally, he also established the first fire department, that being the Union Fire Company of Philadelphia in 1736. Let's talk politics. Franklin was the first ever United States Postmaster General. Also, Franklin was the first United States Ambassador to France and Sweden. Not to mention that he also created the Join or Die cartoon, which was published in his newspaper, the Pennsylvania Gazette. And as an ambassador to France, Ben Franklin, along with John Adams and John Jay, all met in Paris in order to negotiate the Treaty of Paris. Let's move on to science. Hey look, electricity! Ben Franklin actually created that. He learned how to use it. He took this lightning rod and he made it get struck by lightning. I know, how crazy is that? Moving on, he also constructed inventions for every occasion, such as swimming paddles, because he liked to swim. Franklin also devised an odometer that was attached to a carriage with the ultimate goal of creating more efficient routes from place to place. And he also created the Franklin stove. It's time to get philosophical. Franklin was interested in proving traditional religious beliefs through scientific experimentation. Also, Franklin believed in a democratic form of government, and therefore we should thank him for making sure we aren't all ruled by a dictator in Germany. Franklin's Enlightenment thinking was always based on science and reasoning, and finally, Franklin was an advocate of civic virtue and political activism, which means that he believed in writing political letters and petitions in order to initiate change. Our final topic for this video is going to be pop culture. Young Ben assumed the false identity of a widow named Silence Doggood, and under that name, he published various writings in the local newspaper because they wouldn't accept it from him as himself. Also, Franklin left Boston and Philadelphia an unusual gift in his will. He added a codicil to his last will and testament, and this gave 2,000 pounds sterling, or $4,444, to the Commonwealths of Massachusetts and Pennsylvania, with explicit instructions as to how they should utilize and dispose of the sum over the course of 200 years. Next, Franklin was a fashion icon in France, and his fur cap became iconic, and his outfit came to be known as coiffure à la Franklin. Next, Franklin created the phonetic alphabet, or a military alphabet, which is what the police used to write up the license plates of the hat and boot kids. In 1720, young Ben spent 9 days to get from Boston to Philadelphia, which is how long we all thought COVID was going to last. Ben also played several instruments, including the violin, the harp, and the guitar, but I wonder if he could play all three at once. We know Mr. Munz can't. He had an illegitimate son, William Franklin, whose mother's name is lost to history. And finally, in 1968, their International Swimming Hall of Fame honored Franklin with membership. They mentioned his various inventions that made swimming more efficient and his own feats as a swimmer, but most of all, his success in promoting swimming as an essential part of any education outside of Morris High School. Thank you so much for watching Crash Course Ben Franklin with Cameron Rimmer. Special thanks to Mackenzie Inger and Megan Bisdill for standing around and pointing at things and filming this video. That's really all I got on the man, the myth, the legend, Ben Franklin. As for me, I'm out. Ow! Thank you so much for watching Crash Course Ben Franklin with Cameron Rimmer. Special thanks to Mackenzie Inger and Megan Bisdill. Also, he made his stand.